know, what you guys thought of the speech, if you watched it, and of what you think, just generally speaking, what's going to happen moving forward. Democrat DNC is coming up. Is she going to be the nominee? Is she not going to be the nominee? Is she considered the nominee now, technically, since no one else is announced? What are your general thoughts?
Yeah, barring some.
Before we begin, I know because this is going to get really annoying for everybody, especially all my adoring fans. Let me go check my Wi-Fi mesh. All right, I'll be right back. Y'all continue, but it's going to be a big gretch. All right, it's going to be a big gretch.
See, I love how Brad went at the start of this. He was like, "You guys aren't ready. You guys aren't ready." Well, look who's not ready. Maybe we should have tested his Wi-Fi earlier. But.
Yeah. Do I have the power to mute him now?
Yes.
I do. That's great news. Yeah, it's barring something catastrophic, it's going to be Kamala on the ticket, at the top of the ticket. And I was kind of waiting to see what the Obamas did, and they finally came out this morning and endorsed her in that. Because they were it was conspicuously weird that they were kind of the only ones at the top of Democratic leadership that hadn't endorsed her, and President Obama had advocated for a process. So, yeah. But they're on board now, and she's the candidate, I think, and it completely reset the race. We're essentially tied right now.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna get some early bump just from excitement, and then her vice presidential pick will also generate some excitement. But the race is essentially tied, and us politicos who follow kind of know Kamala's gaffes and all this stuff, but I don't think they should underestimate her.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say the energy, just one last point. And the energy is real, because I've had two people who are close to me. They're part of my family, extended family. They never talk to me about politics, kind of because they know where I'm at, but they're fired up about Kamala.
Really? Yeah. Interesting.
Which is just an anecdotal example that there is energy, and what people aren't talking about is like, are people switching from Trump to Kamala? No, but the turnout. It's all about turnout, and if she's energizing people who are previously not energized, that could have a huge impact on the electoral map.
Well, and I agree. And I think the thing that people, I see a lot of Republicans being like, oh, who would like her? Oh, this, that, the other. And I think they're making the same miscalculation. Sorry, I'm looking away from my screen. So I'm pulling something up so we can watch it. I think they're making the same miscalculation that a lot of Democrats make about President Trump, which is that they feel as though everyone hates him as much as they hate him, when the general public, they may have their disagreements or dislikes, but they don't hate him to the extent that they do. And I think same thing goes for Kamala, where Republicans do really dislike her, and actually a lot of Democrats do dislike her too, but the general public, I don't think, has the same level of dislike that those who are involved in politics do, especially given, this thing that we can watch right now.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now. Yeah. But in our country, we need you to be Kamala of the country.
So, I mean, naturally, Drew Barrymore is a very awkward person in her show, but that, I do think a lot of those claps were authentic. Like, I think people actually do feel that way to a certain extent. I mean, not that we need a mom, but like that having the first female vice president, and there's a certain level of kind of empathy that she brings to politics just by nature of her being, a woman in politics at that level of leadership. And so I do think some people feel that way. I don't know that I would go as far as to say I think the race is tied. I still think that Trump bests her right now, because even though, like I just said, I don't think the general public has the level of dislike that Republicans do, I think generally speaking, there is a kind of undercurrent of dislike that hasn't been eroded, and of an unknown. People don't really know her either. Like she was vice president, but I don't think it was really like a high profile role in the way we've seen others. But Brad, you missed it. I know you would have plenty of commentary on it, but please tell us your thoughts.
5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it.
Sometimes it happens.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck
Great.
it.
There we go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think I don't know what happened with my Google Mesh. It messed up. Who knows, guys? It's live. That's live broadcasting for you. Am I right?
That's right.
Oh God, what are my thoughts on what now?
On how we really need a mamala of the country right now. And
Yeah, let me see your mamala. What are you, Drew Barrymore?
well, that's the clip I just played.
Oh my God, that is the worst. The worst. That's why we're gonna lose. That's why we're gonna lose. Is because of bullshit like that. Kamala actually, I think, has a really good chance of winning. A very good chance, because people are gonna be like, it's a woman. Is my internet messed up again?
No,
you're good.
You're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I am good. Thank you. Yeah, I think there's a really good chance that we're gonna lose. Or that Trump's going to lose. I think Kamala, and if Kamala wins, we all lose. Let's be honest. But I mean, women are out there saying that they're going to vote for her because, she dances and she's like, a hip queen. She's going to slay. You know what I mean? She's going to slay queen. 2024. True dat.
Well, what is interesting is that since she has announced they have had a number, and this is such a move from the Democrats. First, they had was it Win with Black Women? Then it was Win with Black. It was a fundraising Zoom that they had where they raised a ton of money, I think. Then it was like Win with Black Men. Then it was like Win with something else, another subgroup. Then last night was Win with White Women, and so they doing this. Next week, it's going to be Win with Indigenous women from New Jersey between the ages of 35 and 55.
When are Michael and I going to catch a break? Am I right?
Not going to happen.
Don't you think that's weird, Charles, that there's no interest in getting Michael and I on board?
Do I think it's weird? Well, my opinion doesn't count.
Why? Because I'm
not a Democrat.
Well, still, I mean, you.
Do I think? Yeah, I mean, do I think? But it's not weird because we know that that's where the Democratic Party is right now. Like that's, I mean,
it's shocking. Win with your knees, says Brian Searle.
Who's Brian Searle? Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
What do y'all think about that? Like, there's a lot of people saying, stop, don't. Well, I mean, I'll pull up the tweet here in a second, but a lot of people are saying, don't slut shame Kamala. Is it Kamala? Kamala. Don't slut shame Kamala. A lot of women do that, and you're going to stop other women from running for office. Because you're slut shaming her for sucking a dick in the way to whatever office she got into, right? And they're saying don't do that because it's going to stop other women from running for office. I think that's weird. I'm a guy. I don't know. I haven't blown some other guy for an official position, unofficially. Who knows? But that's weird, right? Charles, what are you rubbing your head for? I'm
the host. I'm just overseeing the conversation.
I don't think that the criticism is, well, they may be saying don't slut shame because it'll discourage other women from running for office. But I think the more important point is that it'll discourage people from voting for Republicans because their whole strategy, the Democrats' whole strategy is going to be agitation. They're going to be trying to get the Republicans and Trump to react and slut shame and say things like that make them look like bullies. And if you keep biting, this election is going to be won at the margins. It's 7 states. It's a couple 100,000 voters we're talking about that are going to decide this election. And many of them don't want to see anybody be slut shamed.
Well, right. And I think when you talk about those 7 states, and I think, what is it, like 19 counties or something, like, I don't know, something like that. When you talk about those people are not, they're not the one side political people. These are people who don't want to hear that crap. So yeah, I do think that those are the ones you're trying to convince, and so you want to actually convince them rather than just call people names. Erin
Zwiener, she represents what? Texas District 45, Hays County, right?
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
He says, it's in Texas. I've had many conversations with women who are considering running for office. One of the biggest things holding them back is fear that they'll be slut shamed. That's not true. That's not why women are not running. That's not happening. I mean, not the majority of them, at least. So if you're slut shaming Kamala today, know that hurts other girls and women who might run someday more than her. Who might run someday more than her? hurts her more. Okay. And then she follows up, if you've doubted sexism in politics, check out the comments. Y'all double standards are alive and well. I appear to have poked the manosphere. And then free Britney. So.
I mean, listen.
How many? We speak for women, right? Obviously, on the show. Have y'all spoken to any women that say, I want to run for office, but I'm not going to because I'm afraid I'm going to be slut shamed?
No.
I probably have not heard that explicitly. I guess I really haven't heard that in general. I hear more than that. What I hear is from people of a certain age, which is probably our age and younger, that they're not going to run for office because of all the stuff that they might have on social media. And that then might be used against them. And so inherent in that is slut shaming, but it's a bunch of other things as well, not just slut shaming. So I think it's a part of it. Do I think that's why most people won't do it? But,
yeah.
I don't think it. I think it's Aaron Zwiener saying something ridiculous. I mean, Hillary Clinton ran and was not being slut shamed. Women run all the time for office. They're not slut shamed. In this case, we have a woman who happened to get to a spot based on a relationship she had with somebody higher up. So, yeah.
What about that one?
Do people go after Tulsi Gabbard because of that, or Nikki Haley, or any of these women who run? It's Kamala because of her past, but to get back to my point, it's a bad strategy to win.
Which is the point Brian's making, I think, which is go after her record as a prosecutor, which is fair game and absolutely true. And her progressive record as a senator, fair game, absolutely true. And the fact that she's a part of this current administration, like those should be enough to make someone vote against her. I don't know anybody who's like, I'm going to go out and vote for Trump because Kamala was promiscuous. Like I don't, that's not going to change many people's minds. I think the three things Brian just mentioned are more likely to change folks' minds than anything else.
What about Susanna Gibson, when the GOP discovered her Chatterbait channel?
I don't even know who Susanna Gibson is.
She was a rookie Democrat candidate vying for a vital seat in the Virginia House of Delegates, and she bared it all on Chatterbaits with her husband, and it was a big scandal. Last year, and the GOP slut shamed her, and she lost.
Well, do we know that's why she lost?
Huh?
Do we know that's why she lost?
I mean,
it's part of the reason she lost, but it's a sex tape that's online. It's a very different situation than during here. Plus, it's the exception to the rule. You found two examples.
Okay, moving on from this conversation because Brad doesn't even think. Moving on from this conversation because Brad doesn't even think that Kamala is going to be the nominee. So who do you think the nominee will be?
Sorry, what?
Who do you think the nominee will be? Didn't you say in our text the other day that you didn't think she was going to be the nominee?
I mean, was this before it's before they said that she's going to be the nominee?
Sorry, it was Michael. I thought it was you. Sorry.
Calm down.
It was me. I was wrong. I'm moving on from that.
Okay.
Now the question
is,
no, he's ignoring me. But not really. I tweeted at Adam Lowy on the day Biden dropped out on Twitter. That was all I tweeted. He did not respond, although he knows why I was tweeting it. But I will collect. The question is, who's she going to pick for VP? I know I said Wes Moore, but that was because Charles bet Shapiro. I think she goes for Shapiro to lock down Pennsylvania, and then they have to fight for Michigan, Wisconsin, which I think they'll probably win, and then they have to gain Arizona, Nevada, or Georgia. That's what I think.
I think it's Big Gretchen. Big Gretch.
Gretch Whitmer.
It's her time to shine. I mean, she's all over it. Charles, you want to pull up that video?
Sure.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Big Gretch.
Big Gretch from the MI. 5 Mile.
I think that she stands a pretty good chance of getting this.
8 Mile. Sorry, not 5 Mile.
Oh my God. Big Gretch.
Hey, it's Big Gretch here with a message for Gen Z. So if you're not Gen Z, keep scrolling. Okay, now that it's us, I want to hear from you. We're launching Vote Like Hell, a contest to support Vice President Kamala Harris and Democrats up and down the ticket in Michigan. Just make a short video telling us why you're fired up to vote blue this fall and why you're passionate about electing candidates who will protect our reproductive freedom, who will take action on gun violence.
I mean, she sounds like like a movie mom that like is really cool and like lets all the high school kids like drink at her house and like buys them booze, right? Doesn't she sound like that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like come on, Gen Z. Oh, you're not Gen Z. Just keep scrolling, right? Here, don't tell your parents. Here's a little mojito that I made.
We'll say the word hell, and you guys are gonna be like, yeah.
I don't know what is all this big push to get young Gen Z voters and stuff like that. I mean, is the trend have the winds changed that young people are starting to vote more?
No.
Well, I mean, I think the idea is that young people are lean more Democratic, and so if they get them out to vote, it'll help them.
But all this girl boss energy bullshit like that they're doing with all the social media, trying to get the Gen Z like fired up to do this, that, and the other, like, your democracy's on the line, you can't afford it, whatever, right? Really creating the class and age divide. I mean, is that going to work? Are Gen Z going to all of a sudden come out and vote in big numbers more than everyone's favorite boomers?
I mean, it's not a binary. They turn out in droves or they don't turn out at all. You have to think of it like this. There's a bunch of young people who will turn out that we're not excited about Biden. That's the play. It's like, can we get another million, Gen Zers out that were not excited about Biden? Which I'm not going to take us on that tangent. So that's all it is. They're trying to gin up turnout, but it's only marginal gains. And marginal gains is all they need because Trump lost by 100,000 votes or whatever it was. The election before that was 40,000 votes. It's margins. Right.
And she's in Michigan. So they're trying to get young Michiganders to come out. And I think when you look at what they're trying to do with Kamala, it's the same. If they're trying to do an Obama moment, they're trying to have that moment again, which I'd argue there is a lot of excitement on the left for Kamala, maybe not the same level of excitement as Obama, but he was able to pull out young people. He was able to pull out a diverse coalition of people to support him. And I think that's what they're trying to replicate for her. And so they're leaning on governors from these crucial states who are, and I mean, using this word very loosely, but hip and young. Like, is Gretchen Whitmer hip and young? No, yes. But she's more hip and young than your typical governor. Like, more hip and young than Henry McMaster. And so, like, she's leaning on him. She's leaning on Governor Shapiro because he's also on the Breakfast. Both Gretchen Whitmer and Ben Shapiro.
Big Gretch came from the Breakfast Club, and Shapiro's talking about balling.
Right, they were both on the Breakfast Club. I don't see, Governor Abbott going on. I don't see.
You think Governor Abbott was invited?
McMaster, JD Vance. Like, I don't see them going. Now Nikki Haley did, young and hip. So I think that's what they're trying to do is get those type of people to then push on their type of people to get them out, and it might work.
Well, I mean, I don't know the inside workings of the Breakfast Club. Maybe one day we'll see, when I'm invited and, they say they only want me, they don't want you to. I'll let you know how it goes. But they may not be inviting Governor Abbott or JD Vance.
If they asked to go on, the Breakfast Club would have them on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
They've had Vivek Ramaswamy. They've had Nikki Haley. They had,
okay, yeah, you can list the names that they've had. I'm just saying maybe they haven't invited them, or maybe they have, and like the timing hasn't worked. Like there's a lot of things that could be happening.
Yeah.
But if it never happens, then that would be a missed opportunity. Maybe Trump should go on there. And
really, one they wouldn't have. Like if I had to pick one.